What's going on, people? Ben here from Bateman Talks Tottenham, back with another video with a new guest today of my Aunt Jill.
Hiya. Hi everyone.
My Aunt Jill will feature in future Matchday vlogs, and my father would be in a video as usual, but he's not here today. So, for the topic of today's video, we watched the new game against West Ham, first game under Postecoglou. Initial thoughts?
Wow, what a change. Absolutely fantastic. Apart from the result, what more could we have hoped for, really?
Yeah,
Wonderful.
I think it clearly shows that there's promise with the team, but there clearly is a need for defenders.
Yeah, it was so refreshing to see fast-paced, flowing, enjoyable football, but yes, the defensive frailties were there for all to see.
I think it was particularly showed in moments like the first goal, for example, where Reguilon, as well as he was good on the ball at points in the game, he was very much caught asleep at the back post.
Absolutely.
And I think definitely that showed that while we've got some players in that can do a job, for what we really want to achieve, we still need upgrades in areas like that.
Yeah, if we had the days of Jan and Toby-esque central defenders with what else we had today, would be awesome.
What did you think of Bissouma's performance? I thought he was absolutely incredible.
He was fantastic, and let's face it, Fabianski saved them on so many occasions, and some of his, as examples, he was excellent. Yeah,
it was very clear to see also how very often one of the full-backs was joining the attack and the other one was staying in the back three, or one of the midfielders was dropping into midfield and one of them was staying in the back three, which people wondered what was going to happen. Was it going to be just one of them doing that? But it looked like it was quite interchangeable and it was switching throughout the game. And also from the first half, I thought the link up between Maddison and Bissouma and Kane was particularly good as well.
Yeah.
I don't think Skip looked particularly comfortable in that attacking role, but then that's not really his position, is it?
Not really, no.
But yeah, and also I think in the second half it was particularly important to see how well Lo Celso actually did.
He did great, didn't he? Yeah, absolutely amazing. Obviously he's had good seasons away on loan, he's looking for a move, but if he plays like that, is it worth Postecoglou keeping him on? We'll have to see. Obviously
you can't always read too much into friendlies. Could it be he's playing for a move, or do you reckon he could be fighting for his future at Spurs?
Difficult one to say, really, isn't it? I mean, Postecoglou's obviously got his ideas already of who he's wanted to keep, who he's not, and there's talks of Lo Celso for Napoli. If we get decent money from him and they've got ideas of who to go with instead, great. But he did look as if we kept him, it wouldn't be the end of the world.
Indeed. And I also thought Solomon looked particularly bright in that first half, of a couple dribbles, passes and shots in particular that Fabianski saved. What were your first impressions of him?
Yeah, great. He was very lively, and I think it was just lovely to see that they've all been together in such a short space of time. The progress that has been made. You look at the possession that we had, 70% or something at the end of it, wasn't it? And to get 70% possession compared to what we were last season, and he played a big part in that in the first half. It was just a revelation, really, wasn't it?
And finally, on the first half, I thought it was a bit sloppy, the corner we conceded. It looked like they just weren't switched on. Hopefully, it's just pre-season rustiness, but unfortunately, that is something Spurs have been associated with in the past.
But I thought it was interesting, after the match, Ange was actually saying, we haven't actually practiced defending set pieces yet, and it was just, again, refreshing to see him owning that and taking it, not blaming the players and saying, this was something we haven't worked on, this is my bad, it's something that we'll come to. So, like I say, apart from the result, it couldn't have been a more positive game.
Yeah, definitely. Right, we'll move on to the second half, where there were 11 changes made, including the goalkeeper and the whole defence, and we got to see Destiny Udogie for the first time. What did you think of him?
Oh, that was brilliant, wasn't it? What a goal he scored. We didn't even look towards the goal. He just knew where it was, and yeah, what a great start for him.
Yeah, it was a brilliant header for him, to be fair, and it was also a great cross from the corner, to be fair, as well. There were a couple good deliveries, but just couldn't quite get in the net. Like most chances in the game, I mean, had we scored even half the chances we should have, we would have easily won the game.
Yeah.
But particularly in the second half, his link up with Perisic on the side, left-hand side, was particularly easy to see how well they worked.
They worked really well. And as I say, Fabianski kept them in it completely, didn't he, really? He had a really good game, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there were some concerns of him being particularly a wing-back, how he was going to work in the system, but he seemed perfectly comfortable. Obviously, it's only pre-season, so we don't really know, But from what we saw, early impressions looked like he looked fine, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked really good. I say it was all very, very encouraging.
And then on West Ham's third goal after we'd equalised, I thought it was a bit poor from Pierre losing the ball, and then Sanchez. I don't think it was massively his fault, but he did ever so slightly play him onside, which could argue wasn't the best communication across the back line. No. So I think that was also a key indication of we just need more defenders, basically.
Yeah, it did look very much like they cut us open, and once he was through, it was going to be very hard for Austin to save that unless he completely, messed it up, which sadly he didn't. But yeah, we need some decent centre halves, and we need them quickly so that they can integrate into the team.
Yeah, because we don't want to be in first, second, third game of the season and we're clearly not ready with a shaken back line.
No, exactly.
And I think it told a lot about the game that West Ham had, I want to say, roughly around 20% possession, maybe a little bit more, and they had 4 shots, and as opposed to Spurs, who had 27, which I think tells you all you need to know about the game, really.
Absolutely, and as I say, I know I keep saying it, but what a turnaround from last season. We were at the games last season, it was turgid, it was depressing, it was on the counter-attack, it was just poor a lot of the time and not inspiring to watch at all. And we've always said, we don't expect to win every game, but we want to actually try and look like we're trying and look like we're actually giving football that we can enjoy. And if this is a sign of things to come, then it's all very, very positive.
And did you think Alfie Devine was divine?
He had they all had a really good game, I thought. He was, definitely one for the future. But nice to be seeing he's getting his chance. And that's what it's great to know that Ange will give his faith to young players if he thinks that they warrant it, and so much the better for us. Yeah,
and also I thought Perisic particularly had a lot of good crosses to Richarlison, and Richarlison, it wasn't his best day in front of goal and typically offside a lot of the time like he usually is, but it's a sort of situation, if that goes an inch left to the post then that goes in and you're saying what a goal. So I'd be honest, after last season I wasn't too impressed with him, but I think he deserves a bit more of a chance to show what he's made of. What do you think? Definitely.
I mean, the margins between success and failure are so narrow, aren't they? As you think, how little we missed out on Europe at the end of the season, and yes, you say 2 or 3 inches either side of the goal post, 2 or 3 inches onside or offside. It'd be nice to see his decision making improve a bit, so that he puts himself in better positions, or he is a bit calmer in front of goal. But yeah, he deserves another go, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. And finally, what did you think of Vicario? I mean, I don't think there was much you could take from the goals. I don't know.
No.
There were some people saying, could he have done much about the first one? I don't know. It's difficult to see. Obviously, again, like the same, you can't read much into pre-season games, and we'll just have to see how everyone does. Yeah,
I mean, we just have to trust in the choices that have been made with him. He's, by all accounts, a lot of the Italian teams were in for him. A bit disappointed that we got him, so we have to take sort of encouragement from that. There was a couple of times where he didn't quite play with the ball at his feet like we hoped he might be able to, but maybe that was just nerves from a new occasion. But on the whole, he made some good saves, didn't he?
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get to see Alfred Whiteman given a go in the other pre-season game, as he wasn't given a chance today, you'd think, wouldn't you?
You'd like to hope so, yeah. You'd like to think that they wouldn't schlep them all the way out to the Far East and Australia just to have them sitting watching the rest of them. So, yeah, let's hope that he gets a game.
And then the absentees of today's game was Eric Dyer, Heung-min Son and Tanguy Ndombele. Do you expect them to feature in the next game?
Can't see why not if they're all fit again. I mean, there was sort of question marks over Ndombele's fitness, isn't there? Which is why he wasn't.
It was an ankle in training.
So if he recovers, then great. And obviously Sonny's not been there for very long, so don't want to rush them in and expect then too much of them and then be on their backs for playing badly or then getting an injury because they're not up to full speed. So we've got quite a few pre-season games left to go. So there's no hurry.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see with Ndombele how he works, if he can get his attitude up, we're saving 80-90 million pounds on a player. So fingers crossed that can happen. That's it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button, and as always, come on you Spurs!